So as you know, I
Yeah.
asked a question. I told people to call in and write in and ask questions on social media for you. So a man by the name of I am Patrick Ladonis asked, what's the best way to promote your content web series for people at home right now? Certain hashtags, etc. So he wanted to know the ins and outs on how to get eyes on his content. What do you think is some good advice for that?
Okay, so this is an excellent time. If you already had content and you're looking for ways to promote it right now, the timing is perfect for content creators with existing work. Instagram and social media is our best friend, but I'm going to focus on Instagram specifically because there are a lot of beautiful things happening on the gram right now. And, you know, if he has an existing web series, for example, he could take clips of his web series and post it in his stories and use the stay-at-home sticker that boost your views tremendously. Like I was testing it and I put some content up using that stay-at-home sticker, which goes into the highlights that everyone will see, you know, even people who don't normally look at your stories, and it will boost your numbers up tremendously. What he can also do, if his web series is done and he has an existing community, look for creative ways to engage your community now. You know, to your point, we're at home, you know, even though some of us are still working, we're on a more relaxed schedule because we're not going to the office, not traveling. And so this is a great time where people who didn't have time to look at your content can look at it now. Viewing parties are really big now. So I would suggest that he hosts a virtual viewing party of his event, of his web series, and then afterwards go live with himself and maybe some of the people in the web series, or even go live with, you know, some of the people who viewed it and just have a really, fun or informative conversation, depending on what his web series is about, to really engage people.
I love that.
And one thing I've been thinking about, I'm so inspired by what everyone is doing on Instagram. I mean, we know what, you know, your friend D Nice has been doing, creating history, you know, and that just started from him feeling a void for himself. You know, he was at home, away from his family, wanted to play music, and who knew it was going to turn into like this global party and this historic moment that we were all a part of. So don't be afraid to start small. You know, like he only had less than 200 people listening the first night because I was there and I watched it grow day after day. So it's okay to start small. We're not all going to have that D-Nice following of 160,000 people, but your community needs you now because, you know, we're in a vulnerable time. People are concerned, people are scared. And so I just encourage people, whatever their business is, to think about how can you be of service to your community now?
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Now, what if you're not a content creator? What if you're a good old entrepreneur, like maybe some of the people that you actually highlighted in your film? You know, like, you know, you focused on Lisa Price, our friend who created Carol's Daughter, the wonderful, skincare beauty products. You focused on Melissa Butler, the founder of the Lip Bar. You also focus on Tanya Rapley, the founder of My Fab Finance. So what can we do if maybe we're not that far along? We're not content creators. We don't have content. We don't have even maybe we have an idea. What can we do to kind of make that idea kind of blossom and grow into something so that by the time we're out of quarantine, we're ready to go and get it, you know, trademarked and all the things?
Okay. So if you have an idea, or if you're not as established as the women in the film, for example, think about if you have an idea, what is your expertise? You know, what voids are you filling? And start communicating about that. And I'll use Lisa as an example. I'm glad that you mentioned her. She's actually doing a live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern from her kitchen. And it's called Live from Lisa's Kitchen, and she's offering business tips and advice. It's like a mentoring session from her kitchen. So we all have a gift, and I think that even as you're building your brand, which ideally would, you know, your gift would be the foundation of that brand and that business, think about how you can start sharing your gifts now, because these are the times that we're going to remember. You know, I'm never going back to Be Nice. We're never going to forget that we experienced that with him. You know, women who tune into Lisa Price's live tonight are never going to forget some of the nuggets that she shared. So we all have wisdom. We all have gifts. Even if you're in the conceptualizing stage of your business, this is the perfect time to kind of test out your audience, test out your consumers, share some of the wisdom, share some of